IDP, and she's also the treasurer of the ITP group. And she loves to hike, and she loves herbal medicine, beekeeping, homesteading, and smiling, as you will see. So if you would welcome Kate, we look forward to seeing the presentation.
What is equilibrium, and how do we get there? So, equilibrium, as defined by the dictionary, is a state in which opposing influences or forces are balanced. In economics, equilibrium refers to a state in the market when quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. In holistic health, equilibrium refers to a concept of balance or a state of wholeness. Whether looking at a particular market or an individual's health, finding equilibrium is the key to creating a sustainable and healthy planet. My name is Kate, and I am on a journey to find my own equilibrium, and in turn, contribute to finding an equilibrium for America's healthcare system. So a little background on myself. I am a Colorado native, born and raised in this wonderful state, and growing up, I wanted to go to Harvard and become an investment banker. Of course, we see how that turned out. But through a series of fortunate events, I wound up with an economics major here at MSU Denver. With economics, I was able to exercise my innate logic and reasoning skills. Instantly, the subject clicked with me. I was able to quantify and identify human behavior and explain it in graphs and charts. So while I understood market equilibrium and was getting A's in my econ classes, there was no sense of balance within my own life. My physical and mental health were precarious at best. By focusing so much on being the next Ben Bernanke, I had forgotten to take care of myself. As I became unhealthier and more exhausted, I decided to register for a holistic health class on a whim. Little did I know then that this one whim would not only change the entire path of my education, but my entire life. Holistic health taught me a new way of seeing equilibrium. In economics, it was simply find the supply curve, find the demand curve, and boom, reach equilibrium. But in holistic health, it taught me a new way. I began to learn about individuals' life balance and how it affects their own health. The class provided a window into the integrative health world, and I was hooked. So I changed my minor to ITP. So here I was, an economics major and an ITP minor, trying to bridge these two seemingly very different areas. The following semester, I took economics of healthcare policy, and it provided a clear picture into the state of America's health. And the picture wasn't pretty. America perpetually ranks much lower than other countries on a variety of health indicators, including infant mortality rates, life expectancy, and more. America's healthcare spending, as a percentage of GDP and in raw numbers, is higher than other comparable countries. It's now nearly 18% of our GDP. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, all these chronic conditions are occurring at an exponential rate. Autoimmune disorders and allergies are also on the rise. So the majority of our healthcare costs are devoted to these chronic conditions, as well as the expanding aging population. Now, aside from physical health indicators, depression has a higher prevalence than ever. America is simply one of the unhappiest countries and often ranks quite low in life satisfaction. Wow, it's a lot of bad news for America. So when I began to see how bad off we really are overall, I began to see a clear need in America: equilibrium, both in a holistic and in an economic sense. We need to balance the rising demand for healthcare with ever-finite resources. So I had these pieces of the puzzle, but I still needed to see the whole picture. Now, while I was in this in-between phase, discovery, research, something shook my world. I was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune condition. I was overwhelmed, tired, sick, and I wanted answers. When I turned to Western medicine, they offered me antibiotics and steroids. That was it. So I decided to take a holistic approach. I began with mindfulness and stress management, and then used an elimination diet to find food triggers. I added nature-based therapies and mindfulness, and I was able to manage my own condition. Now, once I came to the realization of the power that we have to heal ourselves, I decided to develop an individualized degree in program coordination for integrative health. Essentially, my studies encompass wellness promotion through a systems-based approach. So by engaging the individual to improve their health, we can improve the health of communities, and then the overall health of America. So my individualized degree plan includes classes from healthcare management, business management, integrative therapeutic practices, internships, nutrition, anthropology, math. That's about it. Throughout my studies, I've learned about these institutions and systems that contribute to the current state of health in America. So often, our individual health habits can be changed by altering the modified behavioral incentives. So here's some basic economic modeling. So we're facing limited healthcare resources. This is the supply curve. This is stuff like the amount of physician time, medical supplies, etc. Yet, we have a lot of patient needs. This is the demand curve, time spent with physicians, antibiotics, etc. So as you can see, in our current equilibrium, the price is quite high. So how do we shift this? So we can shift the demand curve. If we can reduce the demand for units of healthcare by taking an integrative approach to health, we can reduce costs and even increase access for those who need it most. While this depiction is admittedly simplified, the concepts behind it are intuitive. Two healthcare economics PhDs put it well. By encouraging their members to make better choices, governmental agencies and private insurers can prevent or control many chronic diseases, ensure that healthcare resources are used more wisely, and in turn, often reduce costs. Now, engaging consumers requires a fundamental mind shift for payers. They must think of their members as partners in health management. So, back to my personal story. While I was in this discovery and research phase, I was able to intern in nonprofit development at Easter Seals, Colorado. Easter Seals is an excellent nonprofit organization that provides a variety of support systems to individuals with disabilities. So that internship really started to kindle a passion for the nonprofit world. So I decided to apply to Eaton. Eaton Senior Communities is a low-income, HUD-subsidized senior living community for seniors over 62 in Lakewood. They have both an independent living and an assisted living side, and they are a model for communities. They're actively involved in community outreach, various service projects, as well as eco-friendly and green initiatives. Despite the limited resources that they have due to being HUD-subsidized housing, they provide a huge variety of services to their residents. Not to mention, the sense of camaraderie and community with staff and residents is inspiring. So, in order to make wellness the focus of the community, Sarah, who is an LPN, and sitting right up here, wave hi Sarah, that's Sarah, she coordinates a variety of health services for the residents. She coordinates a variety of on-site practitioners, including alternative therapies like acupuncture and Tai Chi, as well as more traditional services like dermatology and mental health counseling. Beyond health service coordination, Sarah acts as an on-site nurse to provide resident support. She offers blood pressure clinics, weekly nurses talks, and more. Sarah, you excelled as a supervisor and you really provided the platform for me to succeed. So, what did I do during my time at Eaton? During my time at Eaton, I maintained a monthly wellness board display. I attended weekly care team meetings, as well as monthly wellness committee meetings. And I also worked one-on-one with residents, utilizing the Collage Wellness Assessment System, which helps with wellness coaching and setting health goals. However, the majority of my time was spent implementing programs designed to improve resident wellness. I would brainstorm ideas for classes, and then design the lesson plans, curriculums, handouts that go with each of these, and then lead the groups. So some of my programs included supplement and prescription interaction class, emotional support group, walking group, and more. So one of my more, shall we say, illustrative learning experiences occurred when I decided to host a sexuality and intimacy workshop. Now, sexuality and intimacy is an often neglected area of wellness for seniors. So I found a sex therapist who was willing to come in and lead this workshop on sexuality for seniors. However, upon completion of the group, I received some, shall we say, mixed feedback. So in response, Sarah helped me return to the drawing board to figure out how to improve that group while still serving this need. Although that particular group was unsuccessful, I used it for inspiration to host a guide to online dating class, which was very well received and helped open the doors for intimacy and sexuality for seniors. One resident in particular had lost his wife a few years ago. He actually found a date on Craigslist, and apparently him and his date stayed at the restaurant all night talking until they closed. He was just so excited. So the whole experience was a very valuable learning opportunity. Well, obviously, it helped push me out of my comfort zone and improve my communication skills. But beyond that, it showed me how to rebound from an unsuccessful attempt. So that was a huge confidence booster. And Eaton supported me every step of the way, complete with a lot of laughter. While I was at Eaton, I also met an ITP program alumni, Jennifer Lawson, and she had developed a curriculum to provide holistic health knowledge to at-risk communities. I began to assist her with her weekly holistic health lectures on topics such as nutrition, stress management, fall prevention techniques, and more. Soon we began to have bigger dreams for this, so we decided to develop our own nonprofit. So the name of the nonprofit is the Holistic Health and Wellness Education Program. Currently I'm serving as assistant director, and we are in 5 different senior communities in Lakewood, currently teaching weekly holistic health classes and trying to get out some of the knowledge that we've learned in the ITP program. So the program helps to promote wellness in communities by providing that knowledge and helping people find their own self-care practices. There was one resident in particular who was only able to do our warm-up Tai Chi exercises sitting down with her oxygen on. In the 5 months I was there, not only was she able to stand up to do these exercises, she ditched her oxygen tank. Starting a nonprofit has been a lot of hoop jumping, but moments like these have shown me that the program is worth it. So looking forward, I will continue to serve as assistant director at the Holistic Health and Wellness Education Program. In addition, upon graduation next spring, I hope to find a position in wellness coordination. Ideally in a senior living community, Eaton really kindled my passion for that age group. My degree and internship experiences have provided me with a skill set that's tailored to wellness management through a system and operations-based approach. So here's a final recap. How do we reach this new healthcare equilibrium? We shift the demand for services by taking a truly preventative approach. And how do we take this truly preventative approach? We implement holistic healthcare and education. And how do we implement holistic healthcare and education? Through institutional level changes that then modify individuals' behavioral incentives. My senior experience at Eaton permanently altered my career path for the better. My education has not only improved my employability and my skill set, but my entire life. It's given me the chance to reach for dreams that I couldn't have even imagined a year ago. Just in August, I climbed the 14er with the ITP Club, something I never thought I would do. So thanks to my journey through higher education, I have found my calling to help promote individual wellness by drawing upon behavioral economic and integrative health principles. Now, more than ever, these seemingly 2 unrelated areas need to come together in order to create a sustainable, happy, and healthy planet. Thank you.
Right? I don't know. Before we do the questions and answers, I'd like to introduce Rhonda Eaker. She's the Director of Applied Learning. And she has announced an announcement that she would like to make to you.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled. I didn't realize that when I walked in this morning that you would be giving the first presentation. But I did want to take the opportunity, and thank you for thinking of this, to announce that Kate was selected as the 2014 Intern of the Year. Yeah, so we're just thrilled with this. We started this a couple of years ago, and each time we've had nominations, we have a lot of nominations. It's always very difficult to make the decision of who's going to be selected, but Kate really stood out. So I was so excited it was an ITP or IHC student that won this year, because that program is near and dear to my heart as well. So congratulations. Thank you all.
We have a few minutes for some questions and answers. If you have any questions for Kate.
That good, huh?
Nailed it.
I mean, it was really thorough. And that is, well, thank you, Cass.
You're fabulous.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, guys.